and welcome to this week's episode of Into the Podcast. I am joined by the sexy man that is Ryan Chittenden.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Are you good?
I'm all right, a bit tired.
You sleepy again?
Yeah.
Been a busy boy, haven't you?
It's just been relentless the last 2 weeks. Oh. And I've had a couple of nights drinking as well, which doesn't help.
I know you have, yes. You're too old for this now, mate.
I really am. I literally messaged you that exact thing this morning. I'm too old for this. My head hurts.
So you was out last night? Yeah, so you was out last night, and then all of our work lot, my old work lot, were all out together last night, so I had no one to play Call of Duty with or anything like that. Yeah. So I was in bed by 8 o'clock, and I was just sat there watching all of your Instagram stories pop up, and I was like, "Oh, fuck off, you wankers!" Yeah.
I don't know. I think I was kind of jealous of you being in bed for 8. I'm just knackered.
I still didn't fall asleep till about 1.
Really?
Well, I stayed up to watch one of the Eliminator films.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
So I banged that on, and that was a couple of hours, and then you keep pausing it because you're doing something on your phone, or little one was getting up, and before I knew it, it was gone 11 for that, and then you got to have a pre-bedtime poo and whatnot.
Exactly, you got to sort yourself out.
Got to sort yourself out. So then it was 1 o'clock. So
yeah,
you've done quite a bit this week, haven't you?
I've been quite busy, Yeah, so I mean, work's been full on, but then I was out Thursday night. We went to a gig. So I went to see a guy called Gracie.
Yeah, who is this guy?
So he's just like, I don't know how you describe him, like an indie, not indie, that's the wrong word, like a alternative soft rock singer type. It's just him and a guitar.
Does he play with a band? Does he have a band with him?
Not when I saw him live, but on the album he does. It's like a full band. So he's someone that I think he came on scene 2018. He was like a young lad. He's only got one album out, but the album's quality. I can't remember how I found it. I think it's one of them, when you just watch music on YouTube, it does suggested, and he popped up. I was like, oh, that was a pretty good song. That I looked into it, just the one album, and then me and Claire became obsessed with it, listened to it to death. But then he dropped off the face of the earth. He did a lockdown gig.
Okay. Like one of these you could buy tickets to watch.
No, literally just free. Just streamed it on Instagram, on his story. It was just him in his bedroom, and that was quality. But he came across really anxious and proper nervous, and I kind of thought, will he just disappear and do one album and then it's not for him or whatever? Because maybe that's not what he wants. If he gets anxiety and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he came back and said he was doing a comeback tour basically. But
where did you see him?
In Sheffield, in this tiny venue. Sydney Matilda, never heard of it. It was basically like a basement, like a dungeon.
Okay, yeah.
Underground. I've seen a few artists in places like that, which is cool because it's going to be an intimate gig, couple hundred people, sold out. But it was tiny, and it was really annoying as well because they had the beams, the support beams across the roof. So you could hardly see him. He had a little 2-foot window between the people stood at the front and then the ceiling.
Oh,
so
for fuck's
he even said, he was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I can't see anyone at the back, so I'm sorry if you can't see me."
Fucking hell.
But it was quality. Yeah, really good gig. And as well, it was one of them. It wasn't on for very long. It was only on for about an hour or so. But then he just hung around afterwards.
Yeah, I saw you met him, didn't you?
Yeah. So just. Which is, I love it when people do that. You tend to get that at small venues, which I love. So I had a nice chat with him for 5 minutes or so, and then got a couple of pictures, and then got really drunk.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up actually because I've got a bit of a story about this. What do you say? So someone like you was obviously obsessed with him, you loved him.
Yeah.
When you meet someone like this, what do you talk about? What did you chat about with him?
It's finding that weird because I think you almost want to. I personally, I don't know what the etiquette is in these situations. I feel like you almost want to convey, that you're a fan and that you're for their work and whatever, but you don't want to. It's like a fine balance between
you don't
fangirl over them, but equally you want to be you don't just want to be all right, mate.
Yeah.
How's it going? As if you don't give a shit. Claire's really good in these situations because Claire's great at asking questions and getting people talking.
Oh, she is.
so I normally let Claire lead on these things. So I think we just said asked him how he's getting on. Just said about the reunion. Is there new music coming out? He's got a new album coming out next year. Just sort of said just a general chat really. Just said we were shocked to see him at this venue because it sold out very quickly. I was there ready for when tickets went on sale. When you got it ready, watching the timeline go
ready,
down. And he was just like, oh yeah, just chat. He just said like his tour manager, he was having a chat with him, didn't realise how small that venue was and stuff. And just then he was just like, yeah, just coming back. And he said about his anxiety and stuff and how like he hates social media and that. And yeah, it was just a nice chat, like a normal chat. I mean, I was pretty drunk.
Yeah.
And then I was at the good level of drunk where you get that confidence, but you're not like
too cocky and too slurry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you come across quite, I think, all right. But yeah, it was just nice. But I know what you mean. I do find those awkward. Like, what do you say to people, Il?
Yeah. So years ago, obviously I've mentioned this a few times now, Alter Bridge being my favourite band.
Yeah.
We hung about outside Rock City for one gig. We got there at 9 o'clock, and back then we was at every gig at 9, 10 a.m. So we were front of the queue, no fucking about. Someone would stand there while we pissed off for food and stuff like.
Yes.
We were on it back in the day. And we hung around the tour buses all day, middle of fucking November, to meet our idols.
Of course.
And one by one, they come off the tour bus. And now I'm the sort of person that could walk past some guy who played a dead body in the bill, and I'll get starstruck. I'm just really weird with that sort of shit.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
I see them on a different level to myself, so I get really weird. So anyway, one by one, they're coming off, and I'm just like, oh my God, picture, like, oh, really nice to meet you. Not having a conversation with them. And then Mark Tremonti, my idol, like the reason, I really sort of took the guitar seriously and the reason I'm into the music I'm in was all down to this man. And he come off the bus and I was there with, my friend Aaron, and Aaron calls him over. He comes over, he was so humble, so nice, so lovely. Aaron's talking to him about guitars and single coil pickups and all this shit. And I was just like, just staring at him. And he looked at me and smiled, and I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
So I opened my mouth and thought something will come out. And I said, it's a good job we like you. We've been here since 9 a.m. Dickhead. Now, let me tell you something, Aaron. He said, no way, that's insane. Invited us to go for dinner with him and the drummer.
Right.
So we walked down to TGI's with him. It was just like, just chill, like, we'll meet you in a bit. And then he let us go backstage.
Insane.
I didn't have a ticket to that gig. I was going to buy on the door.
No way.
So it worked, but at the same time, like, what the fuck? Like, so years later, we supported Top Loader.
Right, yeah.
When I was in the band, we supported Top Loader at this festival. And even then, like, the last song they brought out was Dancing in the Moonlight. Sorry, the only song they ever brought out was Dancing in the Moonlight. You know what I mean? Like, they were chart toppers. That song still played. And the music's really good. They've got like a massive, like, the band Train?
Yes.
It's got like a massive Train feel to them. And I've not really heard anything, so I was loving it. But even then, when they was in the green screen, I was just in the green room. I was just kind of like, I just not knowing what to say to these people. I'm like, we're supporting them. We're all musicians here, right? Fair enough. We've not had a chart song, but we're all here for the same reason. I couldn't be near them. I just kept going to the bar.
I know what you mean. I'm the same. I do get starstruck quite easily, but I think those moments are better. When you just come out with a random thing, because it's rather than just being all like fangirly or whatever and just being like, oh, I love you, you're so great, blah blah blah, which they probably get all the time. I think they probably appreciate when someone comes out like that. I can remember I did it as well when we went to watch. Obviously, I'm a big Middlesbrough Football Club fan, so back in the day when we used to go to a lot of football, we went to a pre-season pre-season match at Doncaster.
Yeah.
And obviously it's pre-season, so it's just like a training game, really. And like, there's hardly anyone goes. Anyway, we walked out of the ground as all the players were coming out, and there was no security, no like barriers like there normally is at a big match day. They were just walking about, and so we just got in amongst them, like, a few other fans were there as well, just getting pictures and that. And I can remember exactly that. Like, there was one player who me and Claire were like absolutely obsessed with, and it was Adam Clayton. And he just walks up, and I just clocked eyes with him, and I was exactly the same as you. I was like, I don't know what to say. And I just went, hey, Clates, you sexy bastard, can I have a photo?
Clates. Oi, Clates.
Hey, Clates, you sexy bastard, can I have a photo? And after, I was just smiling. Like, in the picture, I'm smiling, but in my head, I'm like, I cannot believe I just said that. What a fucking dickhead.
Could be worse, mate. Alan Shearer gave me a black eye.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you said this story before.
It's fucking footballers, none of it.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Beardsley, he just took a photo with me. Les Ferdinand, he were all over it. He were a good man. Alan Shearer, fuck off.
Yeah, prick.
Fucking elbow right to the face.
What a bastard.
I know. So that's cool. What else have you been up to?
Oh, you know what I did yesterday? I went axe throwing.
How did you get on?
It was really, really good fun.
First time?
First time I've ever done it. Have you done it before?
I have, yeah.
So I obviously didn't know what to expect. You start off with just like the axe, like the handheld small axe.
Yeah.
And then the woman just showed us went through different techniques basically, and so we did the first one where it was from the side on, and none of us could land it. It was just a bit it's just hitting and falling off, and not one of us could get sticking. It was just that technique that we were doing, and
single-handed, yeah,
single-handed throw, and we were a bit like, is this? Because it was like an hour and a half slot. This is gonna be a long old afternoon.
Yeah,
but then we changed it to one where it's like the double-handed throw, straight arms.
You can't miss, can you?
Oh, it was unbelievable, and it's so satisfying when it hits in. And then every time, if you got a bullseye, they have the bell and they ring the bell. So that was really good fun. And then we did a little points match. So it was me, Claire, Ed, and Jess went, and then we did little points. Ed smashed that one with the axe. And then we moved on to different ones. So then there was a cross, it's like a cross, but it was like a blade.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you call it, like a holy cross thing, and they all had points on it, so you could hold it at different places and throw it, a bit like a throwing star type thing.
Okay.
They had batarangs, which we started throwing.
No way.
Yeah, and so every time she introduced it, we'd practice different throws, like the trick shots and stuff, and then we'd have a little competition. So yeah, there was that. There was the batarangs. There was one. It was like a boomerang, so it was like a 3-pointed star type thing.
Yeah.
That was quite cool. They had saw blades, just round circular saw blades that again were quite weighty. And I was very conscious when I'm throwing that, I don't want this to slice my hand open.
Yeah.
I'm probably missing some others as well, but yeah, it was really good fun actually. Really, it's so satisfying when it sticks in, especially if you get get it in the bullseye or whatever.
Yeah. So that sounds absolutely banging. The one I went to was literally just axes.
Right.
And they only teach you to start off with the two-handed throw, and then you sort of move on. I probably only missed one the whole time. So
nice.
Probably in the hour and a half, I did the first 45 minutes double-handed, then I moved to single-handed.
Yeah.
But the way it was there, they had projectors that come down over the pallets.
Right, okay.
And they had 4 different game types. So one would be points, one would be tic-tac-toe,
okay,
noughts and crosses, and it was basically all on an iPad. So instead, when you throw it, if it goes in a square, you just click that on the iPad.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then there was one where you have to put the marks for the other person around the board, and they have to hit them points to get certain points.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really good fun. So it was one of those, like I say, because I went double-handed first, you start getting cocky then because you're like, well, I haven't missed one. So then you start feeling like your single-handers and you ease into it a bit nicer. But as soon as we got there, I went on a date for this.
Right.
So obviously the plan was to get pissed. It was like, we'll go out on the beer afterwards. So as soon as I got there, I was like, yeah, mate, I'll have one of them beaver towns. And it's like, no, you fucking won't. You're about to throw an axe. And I was like, oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Yeah, probably not wise having a beer.
I did think that as well, because obviously the plan yesterday, we did the axe throw and then we went out in town afterwards. And I was thinking, will they serve beers here? Could have start early, have a couple while doing it, 'cause we're there for an hour and a half. Almost like bowling. You got your lane, have a couple of drinks and then throw it, but no alcohol.
They sold it, but there they have an urban putters, and they have loads of escape rooms as well.
Okay,
so they do sell it, but it's like pop and tears afterwards, but not now.
Yeah,
which was good because we was going to have some beers first, but I said no, we're not bother yet. I'll drive because I live quite far away from it. I was like, it's safe to get in a taxi there, then back. Our driver's there and back, and then we could just walk into town.
Yeah. Okay.
This one was years ago at the old house. But yeah, it's just one of those I didn't really think about this. Like what you just said there, drinking and bowling. When you think about it, your 3 games of bowling you play a bit shit. Second game you play great because you're warmed up and pissed.
Yes.
Third game you play wank because you can't see the pins anymore.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that on axe throwing?
I know.
First time round you're missing it. The second time round you're feeling a little bit better. Third time round Ed's dead. You're like, oh shit!
For fuck's sake, we killed Ed again.
Again, why does he die every time we go out? Oh, you've been a busy. That's fucking good, mate.
Yeah.
You've done lots of cool shit.
Yeah. It's nice to do some different things as well. I managed to get a couple of films in as well this week. Yeah, it's been nice actually.
Yeah.
Busy, and I'm absolutely knackered, but worth it. If you know what I mean.
Socially exhausted.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. You see, so we very nearly didn't put this episode out this week because Ryan was really busy. I had loads of plans. And all of my plans got cancelled.
Oh yeah.
Any plan that I had that involved leaving the house got cancelled. Everything I've done this week has been within the house.
I bet you get cabin fever.
I do a bit, to be fair. So this weekend, I've had a little one, so I made sure we've been out and about.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, you've been really
went
busy.
To the arcade with you yesterday. That was really cool. We had loads of fun there. Then we just went to see family and friends, and then today was at a party, so that's pretty cool. But during the week, not a great amount. So we had the board game crew over. I've not seen them probably in about a month, so that was really good.
Yeah, nice.
And we played Mysterium, which I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, which is I mentioned it like it's set out a little bit like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
So the idea of the game I want to talk about is because it is so fucking good.
Okay, nice.
So the idea of it is it's up to 7 players. One of you is set in the 1920s around Halloween, and one of you is a ghost. So you have this big board in front of you that you slot all your bits into, and then everyone else are psychics.
Okay.
And they summon you as a ghost, and you have to give them clues without talking so they can figure out, very Cluedo style, who killed you, where they killed you within this house, and what they used to kill you.
Right.
So inside your board, if it was you and Claire versus, like with me, it's all cooperative. I would have a slot for you and a slot for Claire, and both of you would have a person, a place, and a thing. Then I got this massive deck of like tarot cards,
right,
that have clues.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give you a clue, and these clues are so fucking abstract, mate. They're all just like really nice, like painted pictures of a woman in a field,
right?
And you've got to somehow make a connection between this and the person, say.
Okay.
So if you're on person, so I might be like, oh, it's a woman, and yours is a woman. Or there might not be anything, so it's like, well, this picture's very blue, and in that picture of it, that person you've got to guess is kind of blue. So you've got to make links and hope that person get the links with you.
Right. Okay.
It's fucking brilliant. So if I was to play this with sensible players, I think this could be quite good. Mm-hmm. If you really took the role seriously and went silent. Now, the people I played with, very, very, very intelligent people. The way their minds work are fucking weird. So we played with Joe, who I've mentioned in the past, and you know how Joe's mind works, Ryan. It's a little bit out there, isn't it? So we had things like, so for example, and I knew with her being Ghost, I knew we'd never win. But I wanted her to be Ghost because I just love seeing how people's mind work.
Yeah.
So she's trying to hint at poison. She's like, I need them to figure out poison. So she's handing out all these cards that mean fuck all.
Right.
And she looks at this one and she's like, and I can see in her face, she's like, I've got it. This is the one. Bang! Bangs this card down. And everyone's like, oh, I don't know. It's a woman. It's this really artistic feel, like very autumnal. A woman in the background walking over a bridge, holding a bag, like Victorian lady. And we're like, oh, fucking, I don't know. We literally, that is nothing. That is nothing on this board, but we'll just guess anything. Anyway, we got it wrong. And she's like, how did you not get it? It's poison. Well, how is that picture got anything to do with poison, Joe? She says, well, look, there's a woman holding a bag, probably full of food. Where'd you put poison? In food. Bang. What the fuck was that? But that was the whole night.
Yeah,
so
right.
although we didn't win this game, I think they won the first time when I was Ghost, because I'd watched a few YouTube videos on how to play it.
So you sort of knew what you needed to do, yeah.
But I was just like, no one else is allowed to be Ghost. I'm loving this.
Oh, I bet it's so funny.
Oh my God. Like after a few drinks,
yeah,
that game would be the tit. So we'll have to get together and play that.
Yeah, that sounds quality. That's good though as well, because you obviously, we said it before about getting board games. You never know how they're going to play until you actually give them a go. Because
I knew nothing about that. A girl at work, like the second day into me starting at the new job, said she'd played it before.
Right.
I said, I'll give it a go. So I did. Worth every penny.
Nice.
And by every penny, it cost me nothing. So
bargain then.
Banging. The other thing is possibly the most important thing to talk about in the history of this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Someone at this table, that's not you, got a solo Warzone win.
Oh my God, yeah, you did. You did.
I fucking got a solo Warzone win.
That's so impressive.
Oh my God, my arsehole has never gone so fluttery in my entire life to when there was 3 of us left and that gas was moving.
Oh my God.
Oh my, it was pure luck, mate.
Was it?
For some reason, I just got in a corner and was just like, I'm going to sit here. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I've got 4 bullets left. I don't know what to do. And people were just running past me. And I was like, how? I'm literally, this corner, there's only one place you can go in this room.
Yeah.
And the circle was around it. So it's like, you can only come in here. There's nothing around this. So I'm going to get killed. Anyway, one by one, I'm picking them off, getting their guns, getting their fucking bullets. I leave. As soon as I step outside, there's someone running away. So I'm like, I'm going to shoot him in the back. Then it's down to 3 of us. Someone starts shooting me. Luckily, where I hid, there was a backpack on the floor with 2 full gas masks in it. So I'm like,
incredible.
Banging. So the smoke starts moving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wicked, I can just sit here and wait for him to run off, which he did. Shot him down.
Amazing.
Then it was me and another guy. And yeah, luckily, he'd come flying over my head in a parachute. So I could see where he was. I watched him, wait for the gas to move again, shot him dead.
Incredible.
I've never tried to get my phone out so quick to take you a picture in my life. Honestly, I was dropping shit. My hands were shaking trying to get this camera out. I was like, I need to prove that I won. I need to prove.
Can't you take like a screenshot or a video on the...
I don't know how to do it on the PC.
Oh, it's the PC, of course, yeah.
I'm sure there's a way of doing it, but I don't know how. I've never looked into it. But I was just like, oh my God.
Oh, that's incredible. Well done.
Thank you, mate.
That's impressive. Very impressive.
I was very proud of myself. So
Yeah.
while you lot are all out there enjoying yourselves, being social and
Who's the
having
real
fun,
winner, though?
Yeah, I'm at home playing Call of Duty by myself. But winning.
That's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Because the first game, I died immediately. Died in the gulag. Nearly turned it off. No, mate. Second one. That's where
it.
it's
It's all about
That's
sticking
where
at
it's
it.
What else? I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I watched one more film to add to the list, but it was absolute bollocks. So I'm not even going to discuss it. Grim Cutty. If anyone comes across the film Grim Cutty on Disney, don't bother. That's 100 minutes of your life that you'll not get back. Did rewatch Barbarian though.
Oh yeah, how was the second time?
Just as good.
Yeah. So
a friend of mine, Chloe, it's so weird. We get together like once every few months. She lives like 5 doors away from me.
Right.
And we just never get together.
Okay.
But when we do, we normally just like me, her, and Josh will just order in like a KFC and we just sit and watch a horror film.
Yeah, nice.
So she got me to watch Terrifier last time. So this time I put Barbarian on for her. Just before you first see the old woman.
Yes.
Josh stood up, said, fuck this, out loud, and we didn't see him for the rest of the night.
What? Why?
He was like, fuck this, can't do it.
Do you hate horror films?
He's a pussy, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
He was like, I can't cope with this, I can't cope. And he went to bed and we didn't see him for the rest of the night.
Bless him.
But
I didn't think it was that
really
scary. And I do get scared at horror films as well, so I'm not being bravado there.
Oh yeah,
it
wasn't really. But yeah, he's really bad with them. Chloe, who's big into horrors, I just kept looking at her face because obviously the film changes like 3 times, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I just kept looking at her, and she just had that face of like, "What are we watching?
Yeah, what is going on?"
But look, I didn't say anything to her. I just kept laughing, and then at the end of the film, I was like, "What did you think?" She thought she said she loved it. She's like, "Yeah, that was really fucking good."
Yeah.
I didn't know where we was going. But when we got there, it all made sense. I kept going, it'll make sense, I promise it'll make sense.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, it wraps up so nicely.
It is a great film for that, keeping you guessing as well. I do love a film that can, not be predictable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially
absolutely.
for a horror film, that's such a thing to do.
And it wasn't predictable. Now, funnily enough, there was something else that I got to start watching, and she was like, I don't get where this is going. Mm-hmm. The Last of Us.
Really?
Yeah. She started it. She's like, this is really good. And I said, when you get to episode 3, you're going to cry, girl.
Oh, shit, yeah.
She got to episode 3. She was like, I have no idea what's going on. This is making no sense.
What?
She's like, I'm halfway through. It's making no sense. Then she got to I was like, it will. But when she got to the end, I didn't cry. It was sad, I guess, but I don't really see where it fits in with everything. I was like, it doesn't. It's just nice.
Yeah,
and lovely.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Don't take this all over the Last of Us.
Take this away from me. But bless her, she's caught up with it now. So we may as well talk about the new episode, seeing as we've done every episode so far. So this was episode 6, 7, 6.
6, I think.
What did you think?
Oh, I feel like I watched it a long time ago. What you have to jog my memory. What happened in this one? It was
we're
trying not to give spoilers away, aren't we?
Oh, so they meet up with
thingy, and then they go
with
to
the horses, and then they go on their merry little way. And this is the first episode where we see Joel has emotions.
Yes,
he is an emotional wreck.
Absolutely,
the whole way through this, you see pure vulnerability.
Yeah,
I fucking loved it.
It was you are right. This is very much an episode where it's all about the characters, isn't it? I know every episode has been that, but there's a little bit of action, but not much. I don't think there was a single like infected in there.
No.
It was literally about delving into those characters and what makes them tick a little bit more. And like you said, seeing Joel's vulnerabilities and stuff, and again the relationship between Ellie and Joel progressing, and we're seeing that dynamic change a little bit more. So yeah, it was a nice episode. It was a good episode. Ends on a cliffhanger as well. A massive
cliffhanger.
And having not played the game, again, I don't know where that's
where it fits in the timeline. Yeah. So what I loved so much about this, we mention this every week, how much we're pulled into these relationships with the characters.
Yes.
How immersed I am with this TV show. When Joel breaks down, obviously I'm not going to give any spoilers, but when he breaks down and we see that massive vulnerability of him, I felt scared of our protector.
Yeah.
Might not be cut up for this.
Yeah. Actually, like he might not make this. Like
I was scared. I was like, fuck shit.
I don't want anything to happen to him.
There's so much riding on you. You can't be this guy. You can't be scared. You need to crack on. And I genuinely felt scared.
Yeah.
And after the episode, I was like, and I calmed down a bit. I was like, fucking hell, that's what this show's doing to us.
Yeah,
like, this is madness.
It's incredible. They're doing it so well. Another good episode. 3 left, I think. 3 episodes.
3 left. Yep. 9 episodes. But so this comes out tomorrow. So in 2-3 days' time, when it is released, Mandalorian's out.
Yes, of course.
That 1st or 2nd of March, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Definitely this week.
So that's very exciting.
That's exciting as well. I wonder if how they're going to do that. Will they just drop 1 episode a week, or will they drop a couple of episodes and then?
I think they'll drop 2 episodes like they did with the others.
Yeah, and then 1 a week. Yeah, which is nice. Nice, something else to have.
Oh, absolutely.
On the go.
Yeah, because I've got fuck all on the go at the minute.
Yeah, we haven't really. Going back to The Last of Us, though, have you played any more of the game?
I have not. I was just about to come back to this. You have, haven't you?
I finally started it. Yeah. I've put in a few sessions on it. I am up to. They've just the whole Sam and Henry storyline.
Not even there, mate. I've only had 1 stint on it. I've only just got out of that mall. You know when you're kind of in that mall and all the clickers are on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
I've only just got past that.
Right, yeah. So I've just done Sam and Henry from, obviously you've seen it.
Yeah.
So that's all just finished. So now it's just done the time jump to
right. Okay.
So it's like, was it like 3 months later or something, or fall or whatever it is, or whatever it cuts to. So
right. Okay.
I'm not too far away from the show.
Right, okay.
I think, so that must be the start of this episode that's just happened.
Right, fucking hell, you really have powered through it then.
Yeah, so I've like I said, I've had a few good stints on it. Some bits are different, which is quite interesting. Like a lot of things, like the end stuff's very similar. So like Sam and Henry's storyline like concludes in the same way.
So is this Bill and Frank?
No, Sam and Henry.
Were they?
The 2 brothers in the city.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah.
So that's their story. Because again, I'm not trying to give spoilers away.
Yeah.
Their story ends exactly as it does in the show.
Right. Okay.
You know. But is massively different how they get there and stuff. There's lots more that going on. Which is quite cool. The Bill situation, Bill and Frank, is very different, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really different. There's a whole section where you are running around with Bill.
Oh, okay.
Like there's like do loads of fights and stuff and fight loads of infected. So that's really, really different. Frank's just someone that's mentioned, but he's not like his partner. But he's not.
Oh, he's not a playable character or like a
no.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
Yeah, but whereas Bill, you run around with like in the town and do loads of stuff with. So that's really different. But again, I like that because having seen the show and now playing the game, it gave me something different and new to work with. I wasn't just watching shot by shot or playing shot by shot.
So I mentioned this obviously when I first picked it up. What did you think to the opening scene compared to the TV show then?
Oh, yeah, I mean, that was unbelievable. That was shot for shot, yeah.
It's fucking so good, man.
Yeah, I think they just extend it a little bit more, like with his daughter, just in before they get to the start of the game.
Oh,
so
you
before
walk
like
around
the night.
as her
So I think... But yeah, that was incredible. That was so good. So like the key moments, like those cutscene moments in the game, which are like the heavy moments in the show, are pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love that. It's just different bits. Like obviously in the game you get loads more. Like when you're in the city and like there's the, like the guys that are looking for you or whatever. In the game there's loads more action. You go from like building to building, you're clearing rooms and.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Like Infected as well. We've seen very little in the show, but in the game again, you're just constantly going through. Like they're everywhere, and you're always fighting and stuff because it's an action, sort of like a horror survival action game. So
of course, yeah.
But yeah, really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. So hopefully, the new episode comes out tomorrow, so I'm gonna try my best to catch up
with the game.
Catch up the game with the show. So
I keep saying I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna put a couple of stints. I'm saying got the fucking time at the minute. I've been a bit reclusive recently. Like I don't know. I wouldn't say I've shut myself away. But I think because I had a few weeks of not really doing anything, I've just been feeling a bit like, meh. I've just not really been putting myself out there that much. So I'm trying to turn that back around because coming into this year, I made some big steps to like overcome some like weird anxieties I've had and stuff about the world, post-COVID and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, of course. Going on in the world.
So I've really made this like conscious effort to see more people and fill my time with laughter and friends and this, that, and the other. And then that's kind of stepped off a little bit. So I'm trying to get into that a bit more. But then at the same time, I'm like, I really want to play Last of Us. I really want to do this. I really want to do that. But I'm spending so much time in the house, whether it just be doing housework or just coming in from work knackered and monging, staring at my phone for a few hours and whatever. Like, so I will. But again, I think this week I've got a pretty hectic week.
Yeah,
so
you said you got a lot going on.
Tomorrow I might. I originally had plans, but they've been cancelled. So I might see if I can get an hour or two on it tomorrow, sort of when again.
Yeah.
But the problem is the idea of putting it in my bedroom so I can lay in bed and play it is the worst. Because I lay there, I play 20 minutes, I'm like, I'm tired now.
Yeah.
I'll just put telly. When I'm in bed, I'm used to watching like Family Guy.
Yeah.
I'll fall asleep to that every night.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll just put Family Guy on.
Yeah.
I can't be asked to like think and use my brain. That's not
what
beds
that's
are for.
It. Sometimes it is effort, like especially when it's a new game, like something like we play a lot of card or in the past when we've done Rocket League. Even when you're tired and stuff, they're comforting because you don't have to think. You know what you're doing. It's just it's the same game all the time. Like Claire always say to me, like, how did you not get bored? Like on Warzone, just dropping into the same map time and time again or whatever, and do the same things. But that's part of the enjoyment of it. You don't have to think. You're not like in a massive open world and exploring, and it's just enjoyable.
You know what you got to do? You've got to laugh with your mates and react.
That's it.
That's it.
But again, I think that's the problem why I've really struggle to get a lot of game time in these solo games, these story-driven games. It's because if I've got a free evening or a free couple of hours, my first instinct, and we've said this before, first instinct is just put in the group chat, anyone fancy a game tonight?
Who's on? And there's enough of us to be like, yeah. And I always will. I mean, when I was really fucking ill, and I was like, guys, I'm in bed, I'm dying.
Yeah.
And then me and Kyle we'll go on DMZ.
You're right, you bastards. You know I can't say no.
I'm so mardy when
I'm dying here.
I come down and put the headset. I didn't even tell you guys I was coming on, did I? I just joined your party and you two both started laughing. I was like, I hate you. I'm so poorly. I need to sleep, but no, I can't not play. And then I think we got like second or third or something. I was like, yeah, all right, I feel better now.
Yeah, that's it. It's good fun though, isn't it?
It is good fun. Are you hungry?
You know what? We've done a lot of talking. I am feeling hungry. And you know what?
We're 30 minutes in, mate, and we've not eaten anything yet.
I am feeling a little bit faint, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get some sugar in you then, don't we?
Absolutely.
So just before we go in, our boy Drew Flanagan is absolutely fucking smashing it.
Oh yeah.
We shared something recently where he obviously announced that he's going to be in the studio in the next couple of weeks, getting ready to get this like actual album out, not a live album. So just a massive shout out to him. And if you haven't heard his album yet, please go and listen to it. It was really weird. My housemate Josh was cooking the other day and I was sat here, whatever I was doing, watching telly or something, and I just heard Drew Flanagan from the kitchen.
Oh, amazing.
Obviously he's heard us because he normally sits on the sofa in the room next to us and like just listening to us talk. And he's like, oh, let's listen to what this is about. And yeah, he just constantly plays Drew now.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's so cool.
Yeah, like he's like I spoke to Drew the other day, and I've been speaking to him a lot recently, and he said it was dead weird because he played like an open mic night or something like, or a little gig, and he had someone from the audience come up and request one of his songs.
Yeah.
Can you play Common Denominator? And he was just like, I think he must have been in shock or just thought someone was taking the piss. But
because you know what Drew's like as well. He doesn't take that sort of thing. He don't believe it's happening half time, does he?
Yeah.
So I don't think
absolutely.
he has much confidence in himself.
No, that self-doubt always comes in with him, bless him. So, yeah, the fact that people are now coming up to him and requesting songs, incredible.
It's absolutely banging. He's going to absolutely smash it. So on that, why don't we listen to Drew sing us a little jingle?
Here come Sam and Ryan, listen to them both speak. They've come 2 hours all with their pop culture critique. But are you even a nerd if you don't overread? So come on everybody, it's the snack of the week.
Oh, Drew.
The best song, that, I think.
Oh, easy. You know what? It's really weird. On an episode 3 or 4 episodes ago, after that, I made a certain noise. They're like,
Oh, yeah, it was,
and I every week I keep meaning to put that back in. I fucking forget. So before we get into the snack of the week, then obviously we put out a sort of prize giveaway type thing last week. We just want to extend that because we've not had that much really, and we'd really like to. We've got plenty in the bag, but we really want people to get involved. And we've had a couple of nice ones, and people I wasn't expecting them from,
which is great.
There's so many people still out there that are like, oh, I'm going to send you one. It'd be nice to get them in now whilst we're doing a prize giveaway.
Yeah, of course.
And also, Ryan, I'm just going to step away from the mic for 1 second.
Yeah, go on.
So we've obviously got the snack tin that we're giving away.
Yes.
I filled it with my favourite sweets.
Amazing.
Look at the size of that bag of fucking sweets.
That's massive. It fills the entire tin.
Yeah, movie mix.
How did you even get it in there?
They are packed, man. That's a solid brick of fucking gummy sweets, that is.
Yeah.
So I filled them up. That is now... Feel how heavy that is.
Bloody hell.
That
is weighty.
Yeah, so whoever wins is going to have to live driving distance.
I hope the... picture of Rory Kinnear is also in there.
It's not in there yet. I haven't printed it, but I haven't forgot. Don't worry. Good. When I put the sweets in now, I was like, oh, people are going to get upset, but I'll just put Rory underneath.
Yeah, right.
Or on top,
Yeah.
However it comes. But yeah, so we're going to extend that. So please, if you're going to get us one, get it to us. And again, if you want to write it out, just do us a little review. Try it at home if it's 60 seconds worth. Ping it over to us. We'll happily read it out for you and it'll still count as yours. I'm just really loving the fact that other people are telling us what they love. It's not even so much about taking it away from us. We could recommend something every single week. Me and you, we're very passionate about our the things that we love, but I love hearing what other people love.
Absolutely,
and, these recommendations are more kind of for me now, as much as, say... fucking Ed, who we're going to do a bit later on today, he's not just recommending to you guys that are listening. Like, I will go away and think about that and maybe go watch or listen or whatever it is that's coming on. So please get them to us.
We are benefiting from these as well because everyone's got, like you said, everyone's got different tastes, everyone's got different interests. So it is nice to get, like you said, different people's perspectives. So keep them coming in.
Keep them coming in. Get them in this week before we record. By the time this comes out, you'll only have 3 or 4 days because I think we're recording on the Thursday next week.
We are.
So we need them by the Thursday so we can pull your name out of a hat. Enough talking bollocks. I don't want you to pass out. What you got for us, babe?
Well, you know what? It's a first for Snack of the Week.
Oh, is it really?
Do you know why?
Is it jelly?
It's not jelly.
Oh, okay. Then what is it? It was a guess.
We've had jelly babies already.
Oh, shit. What a fucking idiot I am.
I enjoyed them a lot. I'm not a big jelly baby fan, but
they were good.
They were very chewy. No, it's a first today because not only have we got one snack, we've got 2.
Oh, my God. We'd never fit them in the tin.
I know, yeah. I was looking at the tin earlier. I was like, we'd never fit them in. But we've got some food and a drink today.
A food and drink?
Yeah, so we've been spoilt. So the first one is some biscuits that my mum got for us, and she got them these because she listened to the podcast, and it was biscuits that Kyle said were in his top 5 favourites.
It's some posh shit.
Some posh shit
I'd never heard of.
Yeah, that we said we'd never heard of them ever, and then my mum saw them and bought them for us because of that. And it's like, I do recognise these, and I've definitely had them. They are the Choco Leibniz.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like chocolate coated biscuits.
Yeah, they're just like a big chunk of chocolate on top of each tea, really, aren't they?
Yeah, they almost like look like kind of like a Nice biscuit.
Yeah.
With a whole brick of chocolate on
yeah,
one
and they
side.
are banging. And not only that, they're from my best mate Anne as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, BFF. So,
BFF.
So we've got these absolute bad boys, which I'm very excited for. But then also, I'm very, very wary about this next one.
Yeah, I'm starting to think your sister doesn't like us.
Yeah, so Jessica got us this a long time ago as well. So it might have expired. But this is back in the days when we were just going to go for weird and wonderful things, which, you know, thankfully for us, we sort of veered back into like a normal lane and have been eating absolute quality snacks recently.
Yeah.
But she's got us a can of apple milk.
Yeah, that's worrying, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's all in like Taiwanese or something. Yeah. Like it literally is a pink can, bright pink can with a picture of an apple with a cow sticking out of it.
Which, let's be honest, if you wanted to depict apple milk, an apple with a cow in it.
Yeah, logic. I mean, I like it. You look at that picture and you go, cow apple.
So should we pour this out? I'm terrified how this is going to look.
I'm just terrified how it's going to taste as well. Yeah, I'll pour this out so we can share the delights. So I think should we have now, do we have the drink first? Because, mate. Oh, no. Oh, my God, that looks vile.
I wish we didn't pour it in glasses now.
Oh, my God, that looks like...
It looks like baby sick. It literally looks like baby sick.
It actually genuinely looks like baby sick.
Oh, I'm already gipping.
For fuck's sake.
It smells... Oh, no, it doesn't. It smells of sweaty feet.
Oh. I actually feel a bit sick. It's actually making me gip.
We've got to drink it.
It looks fucking awful.
Right. I can... I'm going to share a picture of this on our socials. I swear... on anything, this looks like baby sick, and it smells like someone's worn the same socks for 2 days and done strenuous exercise.
Oh my God, no! I'm
gonna have to hold my nose when I drink this.
just smelt it, and
it does, doesn't it? I'm not lying.
Maybe this is because it's probably gone off, and it's milk that's gone off a long time ago. But it does smell like, I think it smells like baby sick as well. That's just been sat to mold, go moldy.
Oh shit! We're not even gonna be able to see a date on it, will we? Because it's not in English.
No.
Oh wait, there's a date underneath it. No, this is fine until March next year.
Okay, great.
Which is worrying.
That's worrying.
Yeah, because it's got a 2-year shelf life. This milk,
it's got to be like powdered milk stuff in it. That's what it's got to be.
Yeah. Oh, I'm scared.
I am scared. Let's just right. Cheers.
Chin chin, baby. Right, don't breathe through your nose.
No, I'm just going.
God, the residue on this glass.
Oh
my God, that is... Drink. Here. Shit. Here.
I've run out.
Here, just take a sip of my
Oh,
Tango.
my God.
Oh. Do you want to pause while I get some water?
No, it's fine. I'll power through.
Okay.
Oh, my God. What did you think of that?
I genuinely believe that is the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. I'm not even joking.
That was fucking... My eyes are watering.
Jessica, why would you do that?
Oh my God, that was awful.
You know what, actually, I'm not going to get mad at you, Jess, because you bought us this whilst we was looking for the weird and wonderful, and that is weird and...
Awful.
Awful. It's,
oh my
God.
days.
Oh, I thought you was going to go then.
Oh, I thought I was.
I knew I was okay because I had my Fanta, so I rammed it in my mouth immediately, but there's still aftertaste.
I had no drink to wash it down with, so I was left with that taste. Oh
right,
my
let's
God.
get the biscuits down.
Right, go on after you.
Yeah, the sooner we get rid of that fucking taste, the better.
Oh, God.
So here's a fucking Liebenschneebens. Just eat it. Oh, so much better. So what are these called?
Choco Leibniz.
Yeah.
They're really nice.
They're really nice. And the best thing about Liebenschneebels is you can't taste apple milk afterwards.
They don't taste like baby sick.
No.
Oh my.
Yeah,
These are quality.
These are
Yeah, good shout, Kyle, from the Leibniz, and thanks, Mum, for getting them.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica, not so much. Oh.
Yeah, I really ripped the fuck out of Kyle for saying that as well.
I've definitely had them before.
Yeah, I have.
I don't, even if it's not this exact brand, I've had the equivalent. They're really good.
The Little Own brand or whatever.
Yeah.
I am going to move these drinks because I can't stare at baby sick for the next hour.
Yeah, please get rid of them because I don't want the smell either. Like, that was awful. Like, it didn't help as well because I'm a little bit hungover today, so.
Oh, so you're
I'm already feeling like the stomach's not great.
Gives another libel schneibel.
Libel schneibel, yeah, I'm going to have a second one as well. I need to get rid of that taste.
I'm actually sweating a little bit from the drink.
The thought of it makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
Like last night, when we were out, it was a birthday party. One of Claire's friends, it was her birthday party. And so there's loads of people there. And like a round of shots got bought. Didn't know what it was. And we just swigged them. Oh, Ray and Nephews.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that like 70% proof as well?
It's just this,
Yeah.
We're traumatized from that because we did shots of it when we were at uni and everyone was like instantly sick.
Yeah.
So the fact that I managed to keep that down was amazing. That apple milk was worse.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And we only like
Sipped it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope the listeners enjoyed to us nearly being sick.
You know what? Last week they got to listen to you fucking slap your gums. Some fucking jelly babies. This week they got the insides of your guts about to come through your nose. You make some weird and wonderful noises, right?
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Right. Do you need a beverage to carry on? Are you going to be okay?
I'll be all right, I think.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Right.
Breathe.
Let's compose ourselves.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. 60-second recommendation then. As we said, seeing as we're doing the competition, we may as well get one of our guys out the way this week.
Yep.
Because it's bad, because I've got some in the bank, I want to hold on to them.
Yeah,
I do this with everything. Like, when I get a good gun on Call of Duty, I don't use it.
Yeah, that's it.
Or if I get change, you know, like, I don't use it for anything, so I might need that change sometime.
Yeah. No, I totally know what you mean.
So we need to use these, because if not, they will just sit in my archive file forever, being like, well, no, just in case.
That's it, yeah.
So this week, who do we have, Ryan?
Sorry, I'm eating a Leibniz.
I've done this thing again where I keep talking.
You wait till I have like mouthful of Leibniz.
But the problem is, as soon as we do 60-second recommendation, if I don't talk to you, you'll just eat. You'll just eat for the next hour.
This is true.
I need to get you involved
This is
to
why
stop you from ramming shit in your mouth.
Put this segment in the first place so I can just eat. I love eating. Okay, this is.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'll compose myself again. This recommendation.
I am Batman.
So, 60-second recommendation. Finally, we got Ed to send us one after promising us for weeks and weeks. I think was he going to be maybe a contender for the first one to be sent in?
He was. So for anyone that is new, I forget to do this, you know, like the one bit of advice I've ever had from anyone that's done like a semi-successful podcast is use every episode like it's your first.
Right.
So, and I always forget to do this because we talk about the people we talk about every week. We have our own sort of like little universe within this podcast.
This is
I forget
true.
to like talk about who that person is. So Ed is your brother-in-law and best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has done us a 60-second recommendation, and I think it needs to speak for itself, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Is it a bit juicy, is it? Or is it?
It's certainly entertaining.
All right. Okay, so before we do that, we've got our boy Drew singing us in. Go, baby.
60-second recommendations into the pod, shortest presentation. Music, film, even cereal. 60 seconds recommending. Listen closely, it's not never ending. Time is short.
Thanks for that, Drew. What a fantastic jingle. Hello, everyone. My name's Mr Williamson, and I am Into the Pod's resident history teacher. And I'm here to give you a 60-second recommendation on All Quiet in the Western Front. So the film is based on a book written in the 1920s in Weimar, Germany, just after World War I, and it really conveys an anti-war message, talking about the brutality and the pointlessness of war. And this modern adaptation of the book really hits the nail on the head with that. We follow the story of Paul Baumer, a young student who joins up in 1914 at the start of the war with all his friends, full of hope and excitement for this great adventure they're going on. The film then very quickly descends into the horrific nature of war, and we see Paul's character sort of go through this horrific traumatic experience where he loses friends and loses sort of everybody that's close to him in the war. And as the war sort of draws to an end, it really kind of hits home on sort of the futility of it. It's got 9 Oscar nominations, and I think you should all go and watch it for yourselves. It's fantastic.
Okay, a couple of things there.
All right.
Couple of things.
Go on.
One,
Yes.
we thank Drew. He took that away from us. And did you make him the resident history teacher?
I thought you did.
I thought I was the resident history teacher.
Oh, really? Yeah. You are good at that stuff that happened in the past.
Yeah, so is Ed the history teacher?
Oh, it looks like it. Yeah, must be.
Why didn't you tell me?
Well, I thought you did it yourself.
For fuck's sake.
You're in charge of this podcast.
You do everything.
I just turn up. Sometimes.
Never a truer word has been said. Ed, thank you very much for that. That did make me laugh so much.
Yeah, cheers, Ed.
Thanks for that, Drew. So I'm Mr. Williamson. It's Ed.
So formal.
Hey, wasn't it?
Like a snapshot into his classroom.
Do you know how many memes I am going to make of Ed now? This is your own fault, Ed. This is your own fault for calling yourself Mr. Williamson.
Our resident history teacher. Is that what he said?
That's what it is, yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yes.
Obviously, big film came out a month or so ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah, not long ago.
On Netflix, tipped for quite a few Oscars.
9, according to Ed.
Yeah. So I still haven't got round to watching this, you know.
No, I haven't either.
And I'll tell you for why, my friend. So I popped round to see my old dear and me pops yesterday with little, and I always get chatting film with my dad.
Yeah.
I was giving them a few recommendations, and he was giving me some. He's like, "You've got to watch All Quiet on the Western Front." I was like, "Yes, but what I've just told you to watch, Dad, is like Barbarian. Like, you can watch that whenever. You can't just go into All Quiet on the Western Front when you're tired, when you can't be arsed. You've got to be in a certain mood. And like I say, I'm not emotionally stable enough for anything these days. I know this film is going to bring me so far down. Yeah. I've got to be ready for that.
It's going to be a heavy film. I haven't watched it yet either.
Is that because you're reading the book first?
Yeah.
That's the excuse I might have.
No, I haven't watched it yet. Have you seen the original?
No.
Because the original one, I want to say, it's been remade a couple of times, but the original, I want to say 1920s, 1930s.
Oh wow,
like
really?
Really old film. But I think I watched that for the first time last year.
Okay.
And that was, it was a really good film. It holds up really well. Like lots of things that like Ed was saying in his recommendation, you know, it talks about like the futility of war and stuff, and how it is even that, like, you know, it was emotionally heavy and like hard going. So I know exactly what you mean. you need to set aside an evening and prepare for it and be like, because I think it's a long film as well. I want to say it must be around the 3-hour mark.
Yeah. So 3-hour film, and you need to know you're going to leave it feeling shit.
Yeah, exactly. So you almost want to set an evening aside. I think, like you say, like, right, I'm going to watch this film. It's going to be hard going. I'll stick it on early enough that I can stick something happy on afterwards.
Yeah, or play some fucking Rocket League or Call of Duty with mates afterwards just to bring myself out of the funk. Because I know what I'm like with films, and anything like that, it really it gets
sticks
to me.
with you.
It sticks with me, and I will think about it if I watch it and then go to bed, and then I won't sleep, and like I'm just an emotional fucking wreck these days. And
I get that, and but I do really want to watch it, and because we've said as well, because we're going to watch the Oscars, aren't we?
We are.
We're going to do like some recording whilst doing that. But an All Quiet on Western Front is one of the front runners, so I feel like I need to watch it before we do that, just so we can sort of have an appreciation of what it's been nominated for. 9 Oscars as well. That's seriously impressive, and it looks stunning. If stunning is the right word for like a war film, but you know what I mean in terms of like it looks incredible. So I will watch it.
Yes, I will. But this is the thing around Oscar season. Like, I've got to be ready for that. I mean, fucking hell. Like, you get your films that are made solely for Oscars. That they're designed to be an Oscar nod, and you're going to get that. I know when I see The Whale, there's going to be some heavy hitting moments in that film, and bits and bobs. So I've just got to be ready for these films of this time of year. It can't all just be Adam Driver shooting dinosaurs.
65 million years in the past.
Cocaine bears and whatnot, which is out. Cocaine bear is out. Yeah.
We need to go see it. We
fucking do, mate. You sent me a video, didn't you, the other day of some bloke basically saying what I said about like Megan, like, you are going to leave Cocaine Bear getting exactly what you went into Cocaine Bear looking for. A fucking bear on cocaine. He's like, stop moaning about it. Stop saying it's shit. You're going to watch Cocaine Bear. You're getting a Cocaine Bear. And I was like, yeah, fuck you, Ryan.
I know, it was a good video. He's very much like, when you go see this film, you're not going to see any videos afterwards or on TikTok like the ending of Cocaine Bear explained, because it's a fucking bear on cocaine, right? Nothing that needs explaining. Nothing's out there. There's no hidden message. There's nothing. Exactly. Bear on cocaine, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, when you sent me that, it did make me laugh. Especially after the conversation we had on it, and you was like, no, mate.
No.
This is why I get excited for films like that. Because again, none of that shit.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for.
Exactly.
See a man get his arm ripped off by a bear who's on coke.
Yeah, we'll go watch that. I'm definitely going to watch that All Quiet on the Western Front as well. So I think that's a quality recommendation. I think... There's a lot of information I'd got in there. I feel like he's rehearsed that one quite. He's done well, but he has been promising it for us for about 10 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So he's had 10 weeks to perfect it. And you know what? Timing wise, so when you sent me the sound clip through, it came through at 1 minute 14. So I was like, we're gonna have to cut the boy off.
Yeah.
And then I played it, and he does exactly 14 seconds of setup.
Yeah.
So it is
perfect
on
60 seconds.
That is the perfect 60-second recommendation.
Impressive.
So thank you very much, Mr. Williamson.
Yes, thank you. And we shall be bringing you in from time to time to talk about history.
Yeah,
as our resident historian or history teacher.
Next time you see him, give him an apple from me. Do they still do that in school, or do they just shank them?
Bit both.
I don't know what happens in schools these days.
I know.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ed. And what we got next? We have the Eliminator.
We bloody do.
We can't miss the Eliminator because this is, I think there's only 2 weeks after this before we start hitting the semis.
Yeah.
Which is fucking exciting.
We're getting there.
We are
eliminating films left, right, and centre.
We bloody are. So I've had a couple of people sort of shoot the Eliminator down recently. One person saying, I might have mentioned this last week, saying Eliminators don't really work.
Yeah, I think you said last week.
Because, you're putting like fucking Endgame up against fucking the first Thor, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Well, it does work because we're doing it.
Yeah.
So it clearly works.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I had someone else today, my boy Chunk, he was just a bit like, problem with this is, mate, you should never put the Avengers films in there because they're going to win. And I was like, you don't know that. Because he was like, well, Infinity War, you know, he said it'll be Infinity War versus Endgame and Infinity War win. I was like, to you? I was like, that's not how it go in my head.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, we're already conflicting here, my boy.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I need to tell you something.
Go on.
And I want to do it live on air because if you hit me, I want witnesses. I am actively going to cheat on you this week.
You know what? You might have mentioned this.
Yeah, I am going to be on another podcast. I'm going to record an episode of a different podcast on Friday.
The fucking audacity.
So the day after you, just after I've washed your
fucking
stench off me,
sloppy seconds.
I will be going to my boy Chunk. Chung, if you've not come across him or heard anything on the podcast, he is the main host of the Utopia Project. So the guy we did the live stream with.
Yes.
He is the most multi-talented person I've ever met in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
The boy his business is like Thorn Industries. So he's got his fingers in so many pies. He's got a printing business. He owns his own tattoo studio. The podcast is part of his business because obviously all of the fucking production he puts behind it. So his editing and production work.
Nice.
He puts all of his music projects. He's got loads of music projects going at the same time. And the dude is relentless when it comes to business.
Yeah.
I talk to him every week. He's got all these new ideas of premises he's looking at and all this sort of shit. And I'm just like, dude, you're fucking killing it.
Smashing it.
So he started something a while back that it didn't take off because it didn't work. He just didn't take it off because his mind was elsewhere. But he wants to do a thing called Chunky Tea and Friends.
Right.
Which is basically, he just wants to bring in his friends, people he knows that have skills and talents, or and that sort of thing that he just wants to talk to him about. So when he did it the first time round, I think he had one of his tattooists in who does a lot of her and a partner write stories for Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay,
so
that's
they write campaigns for that sort of stuff.
That's awesome.
So he's spoke about that. So he's asked me to come on to talk about my podcast history. So the old podcast, my music history and stuff. So it's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be really weird doing a podcast talking about myself.
Yeah. Well, I guess we talk about ourselves quite a lot in this, but it's not. I guess. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not solely on us and our history and our what we do. This is just us and chatting about things shit. Like what we get up to. It's almost like this is day to day.
Yeah.
We watch this and we played this game and we like this and we don't like that.
So that's going to be rather interesting. I'm quite looking forward to doing that. So on Friday, I'm going to be sending you so many pictures because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you that jealous that you pull your finger out.
Right.
And you start turning up here every week, ready and raring to go, going, you know what, Sam? Do you know what I've done this week? I've created this brand new segment. I've written a fucking jingle for it that is mental. I've created T-shirts for the fans. This is what I want. And you're going to do that the week after because you're going to be so jealous that I'm cheating on you.
I might just...
I don't think you'll even open the message. Because that's what you do, you bastard.
Delete.
Well, I tried.
Yeah.
So blasé. No, I won't.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
That's it. Yeah. I like to think I'm an honest person, Yeah. I'm not going to do that.
I brought you a pack of Liebenschnitz. Well,
Liebenschnitzel in that, and some fucking cow milk with apple in it.
Oh, fucking yeah. Let's not talk about it. We've just got over that, Ryan. Okay, so the Eliminator. I'll just play a little jingle then, shall I?
Yeah, go for it,
By Drew Flanagan?
I think it's by me. Surely one of the jingles many that I've created.
Here's the Eliminator by Ryan Chittenden.
There can be only one. It is time for the Eliminator.
That is so good, Ryan. I want you to tell me how you made that. Tell me.
Went on the computer.
Yeah.
Got some sound bites
of
Highlander.
Yeah.
ate some Lieben Schnitzel.
Yeah.
And
That's what came out.
just took a shit and that came out.
You're a fucking genius, my friend. You're an absolute genius.
Yeah, I was asleep as well, I think,
Well, yeah, because who was it? Was it Paul McCartney that wrote Yesterday in his dream?
Probably.
He woke up and he sang it to him. What's this song called? And it turned out that he'd dreamt
dreamt
it and wrote it. Is that what you did? Like you fell asleep, you woke up, and that was
It was just there, yeah. It was just there.
Honestly, you are an absolute genius.
Oh, well, it's been said.
It's been many a times.
Yeah.
Right, so the Eliminator this week. Who we got in the fucking battlefield?
In the battlefield today, we've got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness versus Iron Man.
OG Iron Man.
Numero uno.
Yeah. So I learned something very interesting this week.
Go on.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
Oh, right, yeah. Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah, you know when you're like, oh, I should probably go and edit everything I've written. Because everything says and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
fuck it.
Everyone
knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, of course they do.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
In different places.
Exactly.
It was mad.
It was fucking madness, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I watched the Multiverse of Madness last night, and I watched Iron Man today. So I sent you a video earlier of me watching Iron Man, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did.
And it was basically, this is me trying to watch a film in the house. Obviously, I've got my darling 5-year-old with me.
Yeah.
So I'm happily watching it. She was playing something on a tablet or something. And she was like, I'm just going to play this. I'm going to do some colouring, Daddy. I was like, okay, sweet. I said, well, do you mind if I watch something on the telly? Because you're not really watching it. She was like, yeah, that's fine. So I put Iron Man on.
Mm-hmm.
And within 20 minutes, she was playing Encanto songs on the fucking Alexa, running around with these tiny little Encanto dolls that I bought, just ramming them in my face whilst the different characters sing like, Daddy, look, and I'm just trying to watch the film. So I filmed it and sent it to you and went, this is what it's like. How the fuck I have anything to say on the podcast is beyond me.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah, here we are trying to talk about it. So how do you want to do it this week? Do you want me to go? Do you want to go? It's up to you, my baby.
Why don't you go this week? And you know what? And I'll eat some Liebensnitz.
You have not had one of them in your hand since opening them.
Oh no.
You like them. I can see you enjoying them.
I think as well, I'm a little bit hungover today, so I'm just wanting food.
The sugar is needed.
Yeah.
It don't help that I gave you a sugar-free fucking orange drink, do it? You know what I mean?
I know. I'm now drinking water.
Yeah, fucking dickhead. Water.
Better than apple milk.
Everything's better than apple milk. Baby Sick's better than apple milk.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I am going to go with... I'll go with Iron Man first.
Go for it.
So what I'm going to do is, this is a bit out there and a bit random. I'm going to send everyone over to YouTube to type in Sorry You're in My Seat, which is the podcast that I used to do before this, because I went through a stage of thinking, I'm going to start reviewing films.
Really?
For the podcast. So I was going to set us up a YouTube page and start reviewing films on it with this shitty free app that I found on my phone.
Right.
I only did 2. I did Iron Man and like an 8-minute one of Hellboy with one of the other hosts. Go and watch the Iron Man one. Because I rewatched it the other day and I was like, what are you on about? This isn't funny. I clearly thought it was funny.
Okay.
I clearly thought the editing was good on this fucking app.
Right.
It's really not. Yeah. And also, so that was in 2019 I did that. So 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Lockdown's been hard on me. And sometimes it takes you to go to watch a video of yourself because you see pictures. You don't really see anything of her because I don't take a lot of pictures of me. It's always just pictures of my kid or whatever I'm doing.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
Oh my God, lockdown's been hard.
Really?
Oh God, yeah.
In what way? What have you changed?
I was half the man. I was half the man that I am now. In that one, I've got a fucking mighty beard as well.
Right, yeah.
Big mighty beard. A little bit more slender in the face, less tits. But yeah, I'm just going to pimp that just because it was my first attempt at thinking I could edit something.
Yeah,
and
incredible.
And it's absolute bollocks.
Well, look at you now, mastering
Mastering. Yeah, so Iron Man, what year was it? I meant to find that.
2008, I want to say. Let me get it up.
So this was it the first installment of the MCU? It was.
It was.
Wasn't it? So, obviously, we all know Iron Man. We all know Tony Stark. We all know Robert Downey Jr. This was directed by John Favreau,
Yeah.
who I fucking love. Anything he touches, he just turns to gold, doesn't he? I adore this film. And it's one of these films, I want to put this out there. I'm not going to hide it. The listeners was practically nearly all Iron Man.
Okay.
I think there was about 20 votes for Iron Man and maybe 4 for
Wow, really one-sided then.
So I'm going to put that out there now. But I fucking love this film. And if you haven't seen this film, a bit like Captain America, if you haven't seen this since the beginning, you should go back and watch it. And this will become a rotation film for you of films that you just bang on occasionally.
Yes.
Because it is, not only is it the setup of Iron Man, it is the setup of the MCU, but it is just a fucking damn right good film in its own mind. If this was just going to be a Marvel film, like the original Hulks or the Fantastic Four that weren't canon, so to speak.
Yes.
This is so good. The opening is fucking funny. It all kicks off within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it does.
You know, he's taking the piss out of the guys that he's in the Hummer with.
Yeah.
Drinking his whiskey, and he's like, "Oh my god, you're a woman."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, there's some really funny jokes, and it's just so good. And then boom, everything gets blown up. Firefight around him. You know, the shrapnel goes into his chest. This is all in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Bit of a 1 week earlier type situation.
Yeah, I think it's like 36 hours earlier or something. I think it is. Yeah.
You know, and we're really seeing, because we forget what like chauvinistic pig fucking Tony Stark was.
Oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
He was the multi-billionaire fucking
Playboy, arrogant,
yeah,
dick.
yeah.
You know, like genius didn't turn up at like his award parties, and
'Cause he's
just
busy.
uses women,
Yeah.
and just mugs everyone off and plays by no one's rules, just does whatever he wants
just
to.
as, and he can get away with it.
He gets away with it because
who he is.
he's a billionaire genius.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
supplies weapons to the military, like the biggest military in the world.
Exactly. Excuse me. So in itself, and he is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like we've seen him grow as Iron Man, but just taking it back a step and watching the Iron Man Mark 1, the Mark 2, the Mark 3, seeing what it was before nanotech, before he could literally touch the thing on his chest and all, you know, his suit comes out, you know, where, all right, fair enough, 2008 or whatever it was, the CGI isn't as good, but like you're seeing when it's coming onto him, although it comes on quite smooth, bolts are having to be drilled in.
Yeah.
And shit
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like this doesn't just come onto him like it does later on down the line. Bolts are being drilled in by his machines. That side of the comedy I think is brilliant. His relationship with his machines.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so funny.
I think one thing that stuck out with me when rewatching it this time is just how much of the film is just him and in his workshop on his own, talking to his machines or talking to the computer or talking to Jarvis. A lot of it's just Robert Downey Jr. in a room on his own.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the banter's quality and like the
With
laughs are
inanimate
there.
objects.
With it, yeah.
Yeah. Which is what they tried to do. I suppose, I know you're not a fan of the film, but with Thor, Love and Thunder, they kind of tried to bring that back with the love affair with Mjolnir and Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
It was overdone. It wasn't that great. Like the first, maybe you could have done that twice and it would have been like, oh, you cheeky scamp. But they kept playing it. It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Whereas his relationships with his different machines and his robotic arms and stuff are brilliant.
Yes.
He talks from like shit. He just like, hey, why is the shit all over my work desk?
Yeah.
Like if you could just move that fucking microscope down a little bit. No, up a bit. You're fucking useless. Move out of the way.
Yeah.
And then the one that's dousing him with the fire extinguisher constantly
when he's not
but
even on fire.
When he's like, no.
Yeah.
Like he's genuinely like engaging. Like, don't you fucking dare, because I'll give you away.
Yes. I'll donate you or whatever.
To the university. Like you genuinely believe he has this relationship with his robots.
Yes.
It's so fucking cool. Jeff Bridges obviously is going to be fantastic.
What a legend. One of my favourite actors. Love Jeff Bridges.
I mean, don't get me wrong, rewatching it this time, Jeff Bridges is a great bad guy until he gets in the suit.
Yeah, I think so. He plays... It's weird. It's weird seeing Jeff Bridges as a bad guy. And I think... I'm going to put it out there straight away. The most shocking thing about this film that even now I still can't believe is the fact that Jeff Bridges is bald in this film.
Yeah.
Like, Jeff Bridges famous for having long, luscious
Gorgeous
locks.
hair, yeah.
Shaved it all off and is bald with a beard. And it still shocks me when I see him. I'm like, why? Like,
Why?
Why have you done that, Jeff? Like, But
Not only are you bald, your name's Obadiah Staines. Mr. Staines.
whoa, worst name ever. Yeah. But yeah, you know what? This film, I totally agree. I love this film. This film set a new sort of standard, I think, that, because, like you said, not only is it a great film in its own right, but it was it's the foundation that the MCU is built on.
Of course.
This is, its most basic part is an origin story of a superhero, one that we'd not seen in live action before, in Iron Man. And like you said, and I really love that. It's a proper origin story. And it was so, going back and rewatching this, having, you see the MCU films that we get now where a lot of time we're thrown right in, or like there's loads going on, and because there's like hundreds of characters that are all coming in and there's cameos left, right and centre. It was so nice to go back to a film where all of that is just not there. They're stripped back. It's just a guy, it's just Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, goes through a shit experience, wants to change, and most of it, there's not even that much action. It's him, like I said, building and tinkering, and it's quite a lot of character development. There's some great characters in it, and I love that. It's got so much going for it. Robert Downey Jr. is incredible. He is one of them. Like from the first scene, like you said, when he's in that Humvee, like driving with the soldiers, he steals the show. Like he's a scene stealer.
Oh yeah,
and that's why obviously he went on to become, Tony Stark and Iron Man went on to be as successful a character as he has been throughout this 10-year journey or whatever as Iron Man because of him. He's one of them. It sort of reminds me, I don't know, equivalent to like, let's say Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
As soon as he turns onto the screen, you're like, holy shit, this is a new character that I've not seen before, and he's cool.
Yeah.
Or like he's quirky, or he's a dick, or he's this, or whatever. And I feel Robert Downey Jr. does exactly the same with Tony Stark.
Yeah.
You are like, you love him, you hate him, you can't take your eyes off of him. He's funny, he can be vulnerable, like in limited amounts, but
yeah. And something about Robert Downey Jr., that motherfucker knows how to look like he's dying. He's done it. He's done it.
Yeah.
Fair enough, later on in the film with CG, later on in the MCU with the CGI, so in Endgame when he's so scrawny and this and that, but that motherfucker knows how to look like he's dying.
Yeah.
When Obadiah puts the paralysis thing in him,
yes,
and then pulls his chest out,
yeah,
that motherfucker, fair enough, he's gone grey and whatever, but he knows how to act like he's about to die.
He's a quality actor, isn't he? He is. And, at the time, this was a massive redemption for him, wasn't it? Because he'd sort of gone off.
He'd been in jail.
Loads of drug problems and stuff. So he sort of came back in a big way. So he had like this, and then he had like Sherlock Holmes and that. And he just took the world by storm.
Yeah.
Because he reached a whole new audience. I mean, I'd not really seen him in anything before that, like back in his previous heyday.
Yeah.
And, he's gone on to become one of the biggest actors in the world. And it all started with Iron Man in a lot of ways. And it's a great film. Like, some of the action is so cool as well. Like, it's much more basic. But even now, one of the coolest bits, I would say, in any of the MCU films ever is the bit where he flies in as Iron Man, first time in the Mark II. And he goes to rescue that village. And there's all the terrorists there. And he's just, hitting a few of them with his, whatever his beams, whatever they're called. And then there's all those guys stood with the guns to the hostages and like shout, put the guns down. and they just, as the little like heads up display just marks them all like boop, 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 and then the little rocket or the little shot comes out of his shoulders and bang, just kills them all, headshots them all. I'm like, that is so fucking cool. And even rewatching that, I knew it was coming. I was excited to watch it. I'm like, that's just fucking sick.
Because that's right before, which is my favourite scene, the scene with the tank.
Yes.
Because same thing, this tank hits him and he's like, what the fuck? He turns around, little rocket.
Yeah.
And as it fires, it just goes, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And he turns around, that whole cool guys don't look at
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
And he just walks away.
Yeah.
And he's like, fucking hell. But obviously, we're now 15 years into the MCU. So going back, we've got Jon Favreau's Happy Hogan, but very limited screen time.
Very limited, yeah.
Agent Coulson.
Yeah.
The first, talking about S.H.I.E.L.D. for the first time. 10 Rings.
10 Rings, yeah. That hits in a new way now when because now that you've had Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings, that has a whole other meaning. And suddenly, like, holy shit, like this film, like you said, if they never made any more MCU films, that film Iron Man would still be great.
Oh, 100%.
But they've put in little things here and there that show that they are forward thinking. They're thinking of other things. And now some of those characters like Happy Hogan or Pepper Potts, they're huge now in their own right.
Because it's in this film, Captain America Shield's in this film, isn't it? I'm sure it's in this one, in his workbench, as it comes across, it's in his workbench. I'm sure it is.
I feel like that was in 2. Doesn't he use it like to prop up his thing? Doesn't he pick up the shield? He's like, oh, this is perfect. He's like, this is what I need. And then he just uses it to wedge his like...
I thought there was one that it's not as obvious as that.
Right. You might be totally right. I don't know.
It might not have been, but I'm sure, because I know there's like an after scene. There's an after scene, I can't remember what film it's on, where it's in like the special features on the DVD where it's Bruce Banner goes to shoot himself in the head. Have you seen this? He goes to like the top of Everest. He puts a gun to his head and he's about to shoot. And just before he does, he turns into the Hulk. The Hulk smashes and there's an avalanche. If you pause frame it and keep pressing pause frame, you see Captain America come out the ice.
I have not seen that.
I can't remember what DVD it's on, but and someone told me, and I had the DVD and I watched it.
I didn't know that.
Who
is it? Is it Edward Norton?
No,
Mark Ruffalo.
It's Ruffalo.
Really?
Yeah.
So they must have gone back and filmed that then. That scene.
I'm sure it was. But yeah. I can't remember what DVD it was on, but someone told me about it. And I was like, "Fuck, I need to go," because there's just shit everywhere in there, like of just Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But so going back to it, you get all that again. But this isn't the first time I've gone back to it. This is in my rotation now of films I do go back and watch. Just because it's so good. And, it's weird thinking 2008 is dated, which it kind of is.
It is in a way, yeah.
Near coming up to 20 years ago, 15 years ago now.
Well, exactly. That's like it was like a lifetime ago.
Of course,
I think 2008 when that came out, I think, I was just finished college, about to go to university. And, I was like literally a kid. And you think now that fucking hell, like that was literally a lifetime ago.
And still, bearing in mind, I've seen this film endless times. I still get that. So what? 15 years ago, I would have been 19. Yeah, 19. So again, just a kid, really.
Yeah.
Fucking just come out of college, first jobs, that sort of thing, and like that excitement that I had of watching this, like oh, shit, superhero film, this is great. As a 19-year-old, like. Action, comic books, cool. I still get that excitement on the 15th time of watching it as a 34-year-old man.
Yeah, that's it.
It's fucking crazy. Like how cool it is.
I totally agree. Yeah, I can still picture watching this because I was at uni and we got it on DVD. Me and a bunch of my mates in my house, I was in Hall's residence, and one of my mates, Josh, he was like, saying to us all, have you seen this? Have you seen this film? None of us had seen it, so we got it, and we literally just all sat in my room at like the halls of residence, like loads of crammed in
on this little bed, with stains everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. To watch it on my little telly, because I was one of the only people as well that had a telly, because most people just had like laptops or whatever in your halls of residence. So I had like a fairly decent sized telly, and we all just sat and watched it, and we're like, that was quality,
fucking quality.
And that's the thing, like I feel like the fact that I can remember that still very like clearly shows almost in a way the significance of this film and how much I enjoyed it.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, it was a real pleasure going back and rewatching this because I haven't. A little bit like you, it has been in my rotation. I've watched it a lot, but not for a few years.
So the last time I would have watched it would have been 2019.
Right. Yeah.
When I did that, but I'd like. Oh no! Sorry, I watched it in lockdown, so I was doing the MCU thing of rewatching them all.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, oh god, I love it.
Yeah, me too. So many things about it. I love just random things. Like I love there where he's just like interacting with his work stuff, and like he's got like the blueprints come up and he's just flicking little bits away. He's like, this will work, that'll work. It's I don't know. Yeah, it's a great film. It's weird.
Film. It's weird to say because when you think the newer ones with that, when he's flicking things away, like it is so technological in the newer ones. In this one, it's still really impressive, but he's literally dragging and dropping to a fucking recycling bin.
Yeah.
On the computer, he's just drag in bin.
And just, I want to pick up on something else you said. I think also it's not as like, impressive or whatever. Like, you know, like I said, he just taps the nanotech in the new films. He's just coated in his suit. I really love the fact that it's old school. Yeah, he gets bolted on. You know, you can see him working on things and like literally screwing bits in and just like tinkering, and he's like always soldering away and like just working on it. And I love that because although you know it's a superhero film and it's going to be ridiculous, it's over the top. It's almost a little bit like Batman. The way they do it, they kind of think, well, if someone is as clever as him and does have the resources that would be that he's got access to,
Yeah.
you kind of think maybe someone could do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if he was a billionaire genius, you know, maybe he could make a suit that could do that. So it kind of gets you in that way. You think, maybe, you know, is this almost believable? Because there's no aliens, there's no quite crazy monsters. It's about a weapons company fundamentally.
Yeah. So why couldn't they make a suit of armor?
Yeah, exactly. So, and I really love that. You know, it's just stripped back. It's just, yeah, great film. Great film.
So let's move on to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Is it in the Multiverse of Madness?
In the Multiverse of Madness.
Or is it and?
It's in.
Bloody hell.
Apparently.
Who knew?
Now, so I rewatched this yesterday. I am so glad I rewatched this film because I don't think I took in what I should have the first time. I liked it the first time.
Yes.
But I didn't take in exactly what I should have done the first time. This is what the MCU needed.
Go on, tell me more.
They need this film, when you think about it. So he's going to have to Wanda. Wanda is now the Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
We needed a fucking horror director. Still a bit pissed about the fact it's a 12A. I understand why. Get it. It's part of the MCU.
Yeah.
This should have been a 15. But we needed a horror director for this.
Yes.
That's what we needed. Sam Raimi. Obviously, you see where Sam Raimi fucking shits is, you know, trademark all over it.
Yeah.
But that's what we needed. This has got to be scary. This has got to be dark and evil, and not just a dark film. This hasn't got to be dark. This has got to be evil and sinister and fucked up and creepy and scary and make you feel things.
Yes.
And this film did. Some of the movement that Caitlin Olsen does, like when she's coming out the mirror and all that sort of shit, is pure fucking horror.
That is horror, yeah.
When
coming out of the, at the start where she attacks Kamatage and stuff, yeah.
You know, when she's coming out of the reflections in the puddles, pure horror.
Yeah.
This is what I'm not saying every film, we needed that for this film.
Yeah. I know what you're saying,
You know, because, I mean, let's be honest, all right, this is going to build up stuff and it's got its plot holes and whatever, and, you know, the third eye, you know, whatever. This film is fucking genius, man.
Yeah.
It is what it needed. It is so dark and dirty and grufty and fucking zombie Doctor Strange.
Oh, so cool.
And then spirits that are trying to drag them to the spirit world for like time walking and all that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I really enjoyed it the first time, but rewatching it this time around, I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is so good. And obviously we've got everyone that we love from, you know, Doctor Strange, Wong's still in there, you know, we've got everyone in Commentage.
Yeah.
We've got Caitlin also coming back. Now, I loved WandaVision, and not everyone did. I loved it. I really like her storyline of I will do anything for my family. It's a fake family, but I'll do anything for this fake family. I will have this fake family, to the point that she turns over to the dark side. Doctor Strange has to sort of take that route. All the different Doctor Strange in the multiverse. America Chavez's, character. I really like the idea of that. She's found someone who is young and doesn't understand her power that can move between multiverses.
Yeah.
That is not ridiculous where we are within the MCU.
Yeah, of course.
That is understandably what's going to happen at this point in the MCU. So why the fuck wouldn't the Scarlet Witch want that so she can find her own? It's believable where we are within this universe at the moment.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had so much fun rewatching this film and just being like, shit. Like, so I am a bit of a fucker. My phone is constantly going off. I talk to a lot of people constantly. You know, the amount of bloody group chats we're in, never mind all the other group chats.
Yeah.
You know, so I am a bit of a bugger for getting my phone out and replying to messages and stuff. Like, I was pausing this film to reply to messages.
Right, yeah.
So I was like,
you didn't want to miss anything.
Have I missed something else? Although I've seen this film, I was picking up on shit that I'd not seen before.
Yeah.
You know, and just like I say, being a horror fan, myself, the horror element just added everything for me.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I love the horror aspect. Yeah, they're like the zombie Doctor Strange, like something like the gothic-y shots. Like it was so cool, and it was totally different. It felt like a breath of fresh air for me because it was something that hadn't been done in the MCU in a franchise that I think personally is getting stale. It is getting very stale now, with lots of hit and miss. This was for me a big hit. I loved everything about it. I totally agree, though, almost a missed opportunity. If this was a 15. Bit more brutality, bit more gore. They could have really played on those horror elements. I totally understand why they didn't do that.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
It would have been a better film.
Yeah.
Some really cool characters. I really liked. I think no one really ever talks about the fact that going into this film, we didn't know Wanda was the bad guy.
No.
Like the trailer didn't give that anything away. The trailer, if anything, gave the impression that the villain was going to be like an evil Doctor Strange from a different multiverse.
And we'd already seen the What Ifs.
Yes.
Where evil Doctor Strange in that, which is a brilliant fucking episode.
So good, yeah.
So that's kind of what we're expecting.
I was expecting that. I was expecting that guy to turn up, that version of Doctor Strange, or a equivalent version. And then, because even in the trailer, he goes to Wanda for help, that bit where they just chatting to start with. And
when he goes to her house.
Yeah. And so you got the impression that it's like, they're going to team up to take on like some multiverse threat. So that in itself is actually quite a big shock. And I think people don't really pick up on that. And there's little things as well that I quite liked, how, like Wong's now the Sorcerer Supreme. And it's like, because Doctor Strange disappeared in the blip. So Wong's been in charge for the last 5 years. And why would he? Because he's been in charge. So little stuff like that, really cool. Obviously, it had its like horror tropes that were a couple of them I think I've said this before when I spoke about this film, that are a bit annoying. Just standard ones, like, when Wanda's chasing them and then they turn around and say, where's she gone? And they stop running. And then she just turns up behind them. Little things like that where, your standard horror tropes. And I don't know if they were put in there intentionally to make it, or because it is a 12, it's a Marvel film.
Of course.
They don't want it to be too over the top. Or like the other one that always gets me, it's like, we need to hurry before Wanda kills America or whatever. And then he just very slowly walks up that staircase.
Yeah.
We need to hurry. Like, oh, right, okay.
Let's get there.
No rush. You can literally fly up there.
But you're not
cape,
going to.
you jerk.
Yeah.
But yeah, some really cool stuff. I didn't get a chance to rewatch this one. I really want to though, because I loved it when it first came out. For me, have you seen this meme before where it is it's Spy Kids the movie, and it's those two like on the bridge or whatever, and it's like every Marvel film now looks like this, and it's CGI. I kind of got that with this, like the opening scene, where they're running and on that like bridge thing, and I was a little bit like even at the time I was like, it wasn't horrendous, but I was like, it just feels like it's everything's in a green screen.
Yeah.
And you compare that to like, I think it was made more obvious, but when I've gone back and rewatched Iron Man, he's like, he's just running around, supposed to be in Afghanistan, but it looks like Afghanistan. Look, it's like perhaps on location. They're in like the desert or whatever, and you think that just looks so much better.
Yeah. But the problem is, obviously, we're hitting multiverses. So
and I totally get that.
But I get what you're saying, but it kind of has to hit that road, doesn't it?
So there's a couple of things as well with this film. The cameos in this were great, and I think this is what people were disappointed with, because I think there's such an expectation with Marvel films now that you're going to have cameo after cameo after cameo, and this one had it, incredible ones. Haley Atwell back as like Captain Britain.
Again, hitting the what if side of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. John Krasinski as Captain, as Mr. Fantastic. Sorry.
Yeah.
Incredible, because fans have been screaming out for him to be cast as in that role as Reed Richards for so long. So even if that doesn't actually go any further, that is such a clever in-house joke.
Yeah.
They are playing up to like, well, you wanted this, so we'll put it in, because why not? Patrick Stewart, Unbelievable. And I get why. And I get why people are annoyed, because obviously Wanda comes in and she's like so OP and she just like kills them all instantly. And I get that because, you know, people are protective of those characters. Like, you know, Charles Xavier is a fan favorite, especially Patrick Stewart as him. So I do get, even I was a little bit like, when she kills him, I'm a bit like, oh, well, that was a bit too easy to say. He's so powerful.
I mean, I don't know. I've got a friend who's big into the comics. I don't read the comics. I've read some.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm one of these, like, after Civil War, I'll go read the main Civil War ones, not everything where you've got all the fucking Fantastic Four and the X-Men.
Such a commitment to do that.
So I go back afterwards if I can and read them. So, but I've got a friend who's big into it, and he's like, Scarlet Witch is untouchable.
Right, okay.
So this is why she's like that. But then when we're talking about the horror side of stuff, that fucking scene, not only is she terrifying wherever she walks, like when she walks after killing all the Ultron robots, as she comes through, but she looks like she's covered in blood, but it's oil. It's terrifying.
Oh, it is.
And then when she takes them down one by one, like what's his face that kills with just a whisper, she removes his fucking mouth, and then you literally see his head, his brain explode inside his head. It's like, fucking Jesus.
The one for me that really got me, like the oh shit, like the shock moment, is when he basically chops Captain Britain in half with her shield.
Her own shield, yeah.
And you're like, it's just that look on her face. That's a great moment where they've done it clever, because obviously they're playing to the sensors, but she just gets that look on her face like, oh my God, I'm like that pure shock of fuck, something's just really bad's just happened to me. She's dead.
Yeah.
Like, because she's been chopped in half.
You see her face, and then you see from the background, you just see the shield go into a pylon or whatever. Just
Dead. And it's like, oh, that is savage. So, yeah, so many really, really cool moments. Bruce Campbell cameo, incredible. His post-credit scene as well is one of the best.
Just breaks that fourth wall, mate.
Yeah.
Talk to the camera.
Oh, yeah, I love that. And again, I think a lot of people moaned about the multiverse of some of the multiverses that you see when they're jumping through random ones.
People think there should have been more nods. But so a lot of artists, you know, they could have done anything. He could have gone through one where who was the original? Lou Ferrigno was in there, and they could have done so much with it. But you know what? Why would they?
Exactly. And we've said that before. I don't think they needed more cameos and stuff like that. It'd have been nice to see some more weird and wonderful ones. But again, if we've been spoiled because of Rick and Morty, I just want to see a world where they turn up and it's just giant arses and in lakes of shit, and they just fart and they're like, well, this is weird.
Yeah.
You know,
but
stuff like that.
We have been spoiled by Rick and Morty.
We have been spoiled by that.
They go through a cartoon world. They go through where they just paint. You know, and so all shit like that.
There is a lot of fun there. It was one of them where I just don't think people would ever going to be satisfied, because the multiverse of madness has got infinite possibilities. So they were always almost onto a loser, I think, with this, because you're never going to appeal to everyone. Everyone's going to be like, well, I wanted this and I wanted that. Like, why isn't this character in? Why haven't you got more cameos? Why haven't we seen more crazy worlds?
They couldn't fit any more cameos or any more crazy worlds into this film.
Exactly, you know. So, but I love it in spite of all that. I absolutely love this film. I love the horror elements. One from Phase 4, one of my favourites.
Could not agree more. Just so glad I rewatched it, because I was like, you know, it wasn't that long. This was back at arse end of 2022, wasn't it? So I've seen this film recently. This is one I could probably talk about.
Yeah, it was last year, wasn't it?
And actually, going back, a lot of it I forgot.
Yeah.
My memory is shit. But just the pure enjoyment I got from it. I wouldn't let my daughter watch it. I mean, granted, you know, 12A or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But she sat and watched Iron Man with me today, and she loved it because she's into her superheroes and stuff. She's like, oh, there's Iron Man. Oh, she's not interested when it's Tony Stark.
Yeah, and like the politics and whatever. He's just chatting and like, It's
a bit like the Spider-Man film. She's only interested when Spider-Man's on the screen.
Yeah, I totally get that.
But like, I couldn't let her sit and watch this. Like, you know, when he's a zombie and he's got all them creatures that become his wings.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, it is. So cool.
But
in the words of the Kurgan, there can be only one.
There can be only one. Our beautiful listeners obviously went for Iron Man on this one. And I agree.
I also agree.
I agree. It's sad to see Multiverse go, because I'd love to have had a horror in there.
Oh, yeah.
I would have loved to, because there's so much we could talk. Like a lot of these films that we're going to go back and sort of seeing the next. This is going to be a lot shorter because we've already spoke about the film.
Yeah.
I could probably talk again about all new shit next time we spoke about Multiverse Madness.
Yeah.
Easily, where
Yeah.
we spoke about Iron Man. I've not really got anything else to say about that.
Yes.
But Iron Man is just the OG and better.
That's it.
And, you know, when it comes to this is possibly the best origin film.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I'd be inclined to agree with you. I can't think of a better origin film
No, I can't. It is just so
off
fucking
the top
good.
of my head. But
So yeah, and if I'm honest, you know, like speaking with Chunk today, and he's like, "It's going to be Avengers versus." I was like, "Mate, with things like Iron Man going through
that's
the ranks."
it. You know, when I rewatched that, I'll rewatch it today. Actually, I was rewatching it. I was like, "This film is fucking quality. Like, it is so good." So, it's one of them where I know what you mean. Like from the outside, you know, the obvious answers are always, "Oh yeah, Avengers is the best film," or Infinity War, Endgame.
Yeah,
but something like this comes along and you rewatch it and you go, fucking hell, you know, you really appreciate it for what it is.
yeah.
So,
Let's just take a step back and realize what we've got here.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not big budget. It's not all the characters together and blah 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 blah. This is just an epic story.
Yeah.
About a fucking genius with his toolkit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's what we need. So Iron Man is through, and we need to pick one for next week, my friend.
Yes.
So if you want to take from the box of love there.
A box of love.
So there's 4 left. God, we've got through these. This doesn't feel like 2 minutes ago we came up with the idea of doing this.
Yeah, I know.
And we're already nearly through the first line.
I know. Who've you got them?
So I have got Tom Holland and Jake Gyllenhaal in Spider-Man Homecoming.
No. Homecoming.
Oh, Homecoming's the first
the
one,
first
isn't it?
one, yeah.
Fuck, we did this last
We
time.
did this last time. We got the Spider-Mans mixed up, yeah.
So that one's No Way Out. No, that one
was Far From Home.
Oh, Homecoming's, yeah, that's
Homecoming's
Michael
Keaton.
The
Vulture one.
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's coming up against Black Panther.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, a solo versus solo.
Well, do you know what's interesting as well is this is their first solo films, but both of these characters first turned up in Civil War together.
Yeah.
So they both appeared in Civil War, and then they almost got... They didn't get an out-and-out origin film because they'd already been introduced as fully fledged characters in Civil War, and then they were followed up by these 2 films.
Picked out well then.
So it's worked out quite well, this one.
Wow. Okay.
Be interesting to see.
So Homecoming, which I'm glad we fucking said that, so I didn't watch the wrong film. Homecoming versus Black Panther.
Black Panther.
It's going to be good to go back and rewatch them because I have only ever watched both these films once.
Really? Nice. I went through a phase with actually both of these films where I watched them quite a lot. So,
really?
Yeah.
You see, I'm more interested in watching Black Panther again because Black Panther was the dark sheep of this because I didn't want Black Panther in it because I wasn't a fan when I watched it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to going back and rewatching it. And again, because it's all down to what mood was in when I watched it.
Yeah, of course.
Could I be asked? Was I feeling superhero fatigue then?
I think, yeah.
I'm not feeling it at the moment because we're watching the good films.
Yeah. I think with Black Panther as well, when it first came out, obviously there was a massive hype around the fact that it was a film with a black cast.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, so incredible and so significant that I feel that the actual film kind of got lost in that hype. And so when I first saw it, I was like, oh yeah, it was good, but it didn't blow me away.
Yeah.
I felt like, is it just riding on the fact that it's groundbreaking in terms of its diversity? But when I've rewatched it, every time I've rewatched it, I've enjoyed it more and more and more. And it's like, actually, this is a quality film. And that's why I lobbied for this to be in.
So you know what? I think you're right because I think that's where I was with it when I watched it of, if you don't like this film, you're a racist.
Yeah.
A bit like, you know, when Ghostbusters had it with the female cast that said, if you don't like this film,
you hate women.
It's because you don't like women.
Yeah.
No, it's because it's a dog shit film.
That's it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't like this film because it's fucking bollocks. That's why. It's got nothing to do with the cast. Some of the cast are brilliant.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, so I think I was maybe wrapped up in that of already feeling a bit like
almost on the back foot a little bit. Yeah,
I have no reason to. I have to like this film now. I have to.
Exactly.
I can't not like this film, and I can't say anything negative about it. So I didn't hate it, but I wasn't blown away by it. I was just a bit like, no, I'm not sure about this, you know.
Yeah.
But I never really spoke up at the time, and I was just a bit like, yeah, it was good. It was good. So I am excited to go back and watch it, and especially if you're saying it was the second time round for you, that you realised how good it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
Okay, great. So that is our episode today. So we didn't really, because we didn't think we was going to record, we only really said yesterday we was going to get together.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot for you guys. We just said, well, we've done a lot this week. We'll just chat bollocks and we'll do some of our usual segments. So hopefully you enjoyed it because we didn't have much for you other than what we've been up to. And we'd like to give a few recommendations, whether it be games, films, music. And
we talked quite a lot to start with, didn't we? We had actually nice catch up where...
It's nice to have that, isn't it? Just a bit of chat.
Yeah, just chat. Because that's what we just do anyway. We just chat, we catch up. You know, whether we're recording a podcast or not, that exact conversation is something we have anyway.
We would have done that on Xbox, like the next time we spoke to each other.
Exactly.
As usual, housekeeping. Please just follow, like, share with your friends. Let's get these numbers back up. I wouldn't say we've had a dip. The problem is we were spoiled by. Our numbers are always going to go up when we have guests.
Yeah.
And we've been spoiled by having Claire on a couple of weeks ago where our numbers shot through the roof.
Yeah, they really did.
And then they come back down to our standard numbers, which are still fucking brilliant. And we're a bit like, well, why have we dropped
I know.
Like 10, 15
And I think
listeners?
as well, we did have a couple of drops. Like people like, even like today, I was at the football just before coming here, not watching the football at like Jessica's. And Jessica was like, I've not listened to like this week's episode yet. But it's because it's half term, and a lot of people listen to like this when they're driving and stuff. Yeah. So I know a few people as well have said that like, I'm like a week or two behind now. But yeah, so still, thanks everyone for listening.
Absolutely. We can't
really appreciate it.
Still loving it. Still got plenty of ideas in the bank to come out with. I am every day getting closer to setting the streaming thing up. Oh, I may as well just quickly mention that on the 28th of April, I know we're running out of time, but on the 28th of April, I shall be doing a charity 24-hour stream. I did it last year. My boy Ryan over here was a massive part of keeping me sane during that. It was when we just got into Rocket League, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I've rewatched some of the clips from that because I think Chunk did like an 8-minute
like a best bits.
We are bad at Rocket League. We are bad compared to we're not great now, but we are.
We got to a good standard though, didn't we?
Yeah. So very helpful. You was on with me till quite late. We played quite a lot, and then you came back on for a good few hours the next day. In the last 4 hours when I was really not feeling it.
Yeah. So that was so impressive though, and you raised a lot of money. It was incredible act, you know. And
raised just shy of 700 quid, I think it was.
Unbelievable.
Banging. So all of you that are listening. 2 things. 1, come watch. If you feel like donating, please donate, even if it's just a couple of quid. I don't want to force anyone to donate, but just say my 5-year-old donated last year, so, you know, whatever. Out of her own pocket money, but whatever. But also, if you are into gaming and you want to play, you want to get involved that way, I'm going to be looking for people to play with all night.
Yes.
I normally do it 2 p.m. till 2 p.m., just to make it, you know, on a Friday into a Saturday so people can get involved. So please, if you've got any ideas of games that I should play or anything like that, nice to talk about it nice and early. It gives me a couple of months to get set up. And I will keep pushing this every week because I'd just like to get more and more people. Again, it's all about charity, isn't it? So the more awareness and the more money we can sort of make for that. And we didn't do any promo last time, and we did really well.
Yeah,
we only
incredibly
chucked
well.
it out like the week before, and we did really great. So that's coming on the 28th of April. So me and your boy will be fucking smashing some serious gaming out.
Yeah, we'll get some in.
I had to give him 2 months' notice, so he didn't make plans that night. And he's probably going to make plans anyway.
Am I busy?
Yeah, exactly. Any final thoughts, Ryan?
I think that if you see a can that's bright pink with an apple with a cow in it, give it a try.
Give it a try. It's lovely. Doesn't taste or look or smell like baby sick.
No. Yeah, really, really healthy for you.
I normally say peace on the way out, but
you can't not say peace.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like I should go Drew Flanagan on this.
Go on.
Into the podcast. Out. Peace.